Joe Judge of the New York Giants is trying to institute a brand new culture down there for the Giants of football. He was hired as former special teams coordinator for the New England Patriots. I was very happy when he was hired because anytime you get a special teams guy at head coach, that's great for the brand. Everybody wondered if Joe Judge was going to end up like all the other Bill Belichick coaching tree members, which is go into a place, institute rules that worked in the New England Patriots because they won 6 Super Bowls and have a dynasty, and tell people this is how we're going to act. And then normally it doesn't get well received because players are like, well, that was Bill Belichick, that wasn't you, so you can go to hell. But here's Joe Judge turning things around, brings in Jason Garrett. How you doing? Clap. Keep it moving. He also brought in another coach.
Freddie Kitchens.
Freddie Kitchens. How you doing, Freddie? Keep it moving. Joe Judge, Jason Garrett, Freddie Kitchens, and the others are trying to rebuild a culture in the New York Giants organization to take them back to the promised land like they were just a few years back. Eli Manning's retired, maybe. Danny Jones is the guy. Saquon Barkley. They shipped OBJ out of town last year. This feels like a team that could really rebound and bounce back and be great. Young quarterback that's good. They got a young running back that's good. Here we go. Now, Joe Judge has been reported as making people run laps after practice for mistakes. That was not well received by a lot of people who are professionals because they're like, that's a college thing. But Cam Newton of the New England Patriots had a fumble yesterday, ran a lap because that's what Bill Belichick does. So here's Joe Judge instituting what he knows from New England, saying, hey, this is how they do it there. That's how we're going to do it here. We're going to win. We heard about this with Matt Patricia and the Detroit Lions organization. It ran a lot of vets off because vets were like, to hell, this isn't the Patriots, this is the Lions. But now Matt Patricia's got his guys in there. So will the Lions go ahead and to the top? Will Joe Judge have to experience the same thing that Matt Patricia's had to experience where he lost the locker room, he did all this? Now, there's reports and pictures coming out that Joe Judge taped tennis balls onto the palms of defensive backs so that they can't hold anybody. I had no idea what this was. I was intrigued to hear what it was. So I called our friend Darius Butler, who's the host of the Man to Man podcast alongside Antoine Bethea. They have an interview with Eric Weddle coming out this week. Ooh. I think you'll want to hear. Great podcast. And he also does everything DB, which is defensive backs, and Darius Butler. He breaks down secondaries in the video. So there's no other person I'd rather talk to about this than DB. So I asked him, I said, hey, have you ever heard this before? He said, usually guys wear boxing gloves. Boxing gloves is the move because you can't really grab anybody and it helps. And he said, and normally that's months before the season. We're weeks before the season. He said, the hay's in the barn, pal. If these people are going to hold, they are going to hold. You're only 2 weeks. He said he likes the thought of it. He said normally people use boxing gloves, but it seems like it's a bit too close to the season to be trying to do this because you're not going to be able to change somebody in a week and a half. If they're going to hold, they're going to hold. You just got to hope that you scout them better and don't get that person on your team, or in next offseason go to work. We'll see if it works out. If they have less holding penalties than everybody else, this tennis ball tape job is going to seem like the most brilliant idea of all time for Joe Judge.
And the cool thing with boxing gloves is you can take them off so that you can get yourself some water, tie your shoes, stuff like that. Tennis balls just taped to your hands the entire practice. Seems like...
Listen, these guys are Edward 40 hands with tennis balls. You got to finish the thing before you get out of there.